Helen, what's the latest on the stormy weather that we're going to get?
Already gusting around 60 to 70 miles an hour in southern Ireland. This is the very defined storm, as you can see here on the satellite photo, Rita. And that storm, Storm Agnes, is bearing down across the UK and Ireland now. It's going to push its influence further north and east, escalating the winds elsewhere, pushing in a spell of very wet weather, in particular for Northern Ireland and Scotland as well. But those winds getting to around 40 to 50 miles an hour inland, just about anywhere away from the south and the east. Gusts around 70, 75 miles an hour in the exposed coast, particularly the Irish Sea coast. Those winds enough to bring down the odd branch, even the odd tree, because they're in full leaf, and the leaves, of course, blocking up the drain. So added with the rain could cause some local flooding and, of course, disruptive and hazardous travel conditions. So more on the warnings on the website.
Hello again. Well, here's another lovely view of London, another slightly cloudy one of the beautiful Tower Bridge there. Now, as we head on into this evening, it's blustery. Storm Agnes, of course, not far away from us. Tomorrow, a dry day, quite breezy still, and it will be a little bit fresher. We're likely to get a bit of rain later on in the evening and overnight, but a bit of a question mark as to exactly when and where. On Friday, some showers moving into the northwest of Scotland too, and it will still feel pleasant, particularly in the best of the sunshine. Temperatures in the high teens, 20 degrees Celsius in the south and the east. But those temperatures could climb a little bit further as we head into the start of October. 22 Celsius in London on Sunday. Here it's looking largely dry with some sunshine, some showers in the north and the west. Sophie.
Well, London's newest and highest viewing deck opens today with 300-degree views of London and its most iconic landmarks. Horizon 22, located in 22 Bishopsgate, is the tallest building in the City of London. Admission is free, but you do need to book ahead.
That you book in advance.
Philip, thank you. Well, just to say, you don't have to take the lift up here. You can take the 70 or so flights of stairs up, but we will be taking the lift down.
I think that's very, very sensible, Alpa. And, I won't be taking up that offer of walking up all those stairs. But it's a lovely view, though. Let's get the weather forecast now from Lizzie. Lizzie, I think you should present your weather from there. You'll be able to see it all, won't you?
I know, it'd be quite a good idea, wouldn't it? It's been quite a nice day here, actually, Luxme. But further north and west, we've been talking about Storm Agnes. It's not really affected us at all. A very pretty day of weather with some sunshine around through the morning. This is that lovely church in Fulham, of course, is snapped by our weather watcher. A little bit more cloud, of course, through the afternoon, and temperatures in the low 20s, so above the seasonal average, which is where we're expecting them to stay as we head through the rest of the week. So it is going to be staying warm. Temperatures again in around sort of 20 to 22 degrees Celsius next few days, rest of the week, and it's looking largely dry, but there could be a few showers at times. Good evening. We've had a tale of contrasts weather-wise today. We've had lots of sunshine in the far north of Scotland and in the south and east where it's been quite warm. But this defined swirl of cloud denotes Storm Agnes, a well-developed storm, the first of the season, which is still spreading its influence of very windy weather and wet weather further north and east. We've had over 20 millimetres of rain, for example, in parts of Northern Ireland. And we've had gusts of wind, 50 to 60 miles an hour, close to 70 in some exposed parts. As I say, we've still got that storm to bring stronger winds further north as well. So still potential for some hazardous travel conditions as we go through the rest of the evening and overnight. The detail about the weather warnings, that's on the website.
Well, early in the programme, we heard about the weather warnings Storm Agnes has brought, and Becky is here to tell us more. So, Becky, when exactly is the storm expected to peak?
Pretty much now, actually. Between now and around 9 o'clock this evening, we are actually seeing the peak of the storm. Now, this is where Storm Agnes sits at the moment. The eye of the storm is directly over Northern Ireland, those tightly squeezed isobars indicating to those very strong winds gusting up to 75 miles an hour. I'm very happy not to be standing in that tonight. Now, as you saw earlier on, we have a wide-reaching areas, warning areas sitting across the UK for the wind and rain, and they're in force until tomorrow morning. But mercifully, Storm Agnes is going to zip through pretty quickly. But that's because we're sitting in a very powerful jet stream at the moment. Remember that a jet stream is a current of very fast-moving air that sits around 30,000 feet up into the air and can have wind speeds of around 250 miles an hour. I always refer to it as a sort of conveyor belt for weather systems, and you can see very clearly clearly the track that Agnes is now going to be following. And if we look ahead to tonight, you can see that the centre of the storm is going to be moving away northwards, taking away the worst of the wind and rain with it, although it remains a very blustery picture into tomorrow morning for many northern and western parts. But don't hold your breath, because as you can see, we do still have the next rain and wind-bearing weather systems waiting out to the west, so it does continue to be very unsettled indeed. Let's have a look at the detail. So as we have a look ahead to the next few days, it is going to remain typically autumnal, sunny spells and heavy showers, but thankfully, although some parts will still remain pretty blustery, generally speaking, it is going to be less windy. So it's definitely a really unsettled, very impactful picture at the moment. But the good news is Friday is looking better. And the start, I'm not going to say all of it, but the start of the weekend, that's looking pretty good.
That's good news for me. Becky, thank you.
No problem.